I'm here with American comedian Kurt Metzger, and we're looking at this video. This is from an MP from Ireland. I think they call them MPs in Ireland. So this is a member of parliament. That's what MP stands for, right? I'm pretty sure. I think that's what it stands for. I don't know.
I had
anything.
no idea until you said.
Yeah. So anyway, and this is not going to be as funny as our last clip.
Okay.
This will be less funny, but it'll be poignant. And if you want to see us be funny, we're doing stand-up comedy in Houston and Arlington, Addison, Dallas, the 22nd and the 24th of this month, and then we're going to Orlando and Tampa and every place else too in the country. Go to jimmydorcomedy.com. I'd love to see you. Let's get together and laugh during World War III. But right now, this woman is going to point out the hypocrisy of people clutching their pearls over Ukraine while they're silent about everything else, all the other atrocities that are currently happening that the West is involved with. You know that we turned Iraq into we turned Libya into a failed state with open slave markets. We dropped more bombs in Syria. We ran out of bombs, 26,000 bombs. We're occupying Syria right now, third of it, the United States, I mean. And you know that we're currently helping Saudi Arabia commit a genocide in Yemen. And, of course, we all know about the Israeli-Palestinian situation. So let's just listen to this.
There's no doubt about it. We're living in times of catastrophic crisis where the lives of innocent civilians are sacrificed in the wars of their masters. Yes, in Ukraine, but not only. Since the last plenary, tens of thousands of Afghani citizens have been forced to flee in search of food and safety. 5 million children face famine, an agonizing and painful death, a 500% increase in child marriages and children being sold just so they can survive, and not a mention of it. Not here, not anywhere. No wall-to-wall TV coverage, no emergency humanitarian response, no special plenaries, not even a mention in this plenary, no Afghani delegations, and no statements. My God, they must be wondering, what makes their humanitarian crisis so unimportant? Is it the colour of their skin? Is it that they're not white? They're not European? That their problems come from a US gun or a US invasion? Is it that the decision to rob their country's wealth was taken by a despotic US president rather than a Russian one? Because, my God, all wars are evil and all victims deserve support. And until we get on that page, we have no credibility whatsoever.
So that's pretty poignant. So that's something they'll never show on American television, and they'll soon be censoring on YouTube, believe me.
Did anybody go, but this is Europe, but Europe.
So, yeah. And so what we just did to Afghanistan for 20 goddamn years, and the Afghanistan papers prove that it was all just a money transfer. We went and occupied a country for 20 years, murdered people, slaughtered, made their lives miserable. For what? For nothing. We didn't even know what we were doing there, but it was a lot of money that was being transferred upwards to the military-industrial complex, and that's what was the point of it. And now we're starving those people. So Joe Biden, and no one, again, so that's what this is all about. And now we're all pretending she's like that we care about human beings. Why do we only care about Ukrainians? Because they're white with blue eyes? I think that has a lot to do with it. This is a great cartoon. It says, now they see us. And there's someone from Yemen holding a Ukraine flag. And you see that they're bombed out. Their whole thing is bombed out. And so that makes sense. And so here's one more. Here's Richard Boyd.
Amnesty International, the most respected human rights organization in the world, and Human Rights Watch, within a very short period of time, issue these damning reports saying that Israel, since its foundation, has been built on a system of oppression and domination and apartheid and racism, involving the murder of unarmed, innocent civilians on a regular basis, arbitrary detention and imprisonment, land annexations, the displacement of people, the denial of basic fundamental rights to 6 million Palestinians who are displaced outside Israel and the occupied territories, to the right to their return to their homes, to the illegal blockade of Gaza, which has left, as they say in the report, Gaza in a permanent state of humanitarian crisis. and yet you want to be careful about your language. You're happy to correctly use the most strong and robust language to describe the crimes against humanity of Vladimir Putin, but you will not use the same strength of language when it comes to describing Israel's treatment of the Palestinians. Now, you see, if you're going to have moral standards, those standards have to be consistent. Otherwise, they are not standards at all. They are just cynicism. I appeal to you to uphold the tradition this country has, going right back to its foundation, to opposing oppression of peoples and standing up against brutal powers that are willing to subjugate people like the Palestinians or any other.
So that was very well said. That was tweeted out by the People Before Profit. He's calling out government's hypocrisy on Israeli apartheid against the Palestinians. They rightly condemn Putin's invasion of Ukraine, but they won't even use the word apartheid to describe Israel's oppression of the Palestinians. So that's kind of our flex here at this show, is to point out how American people are the most propagandized people in the entire world, and they don't know it. And we're committing atrocities left and right, and endorsing atrocities and enabling atrocities, while everybody gets their bush in a knot over this one atrocity. Just the one. Why? Because that's the one the neoliberal international cabal wants you to care about. Because it's all about money. If you think Ukraine is about protecting the people of Ukraine, now who's being naive, Kay? This is about money. This is about money. This is about money and energy transfers and money. Okay.
And our biolab IP too.
And this is about our biolabs, which we're going to talk about next. Okay. So I hope that, of course, that's the kind of thing. And there's nothing that's more stomach churning than seeing Americans get indignant over Ukraine. And somehow Vladimir Putin is somehow a bigger butcher than Joe Biden, because that's just factually incorrect. I would like to look up. Let's do a body count, shall we? Let's do a body count. Hey, we got more dates for our 2022 stand-up tour. We're going everywhere. We're going to Dallas, Houston, Florida. We're going to Omaha, Des Moines, Pittsburgh, Columbus, Ohio, and Los Angeles. Go to jimmydorecomedy.com for a link for all the tickets for all our shows.